checking the sound, etc. So Mrs. Dammakh also, I've been talking to Mr. Shabbi about his presentation, and he will be taken up about 1 hour, more or less, he said. 1 hour. It depends on the number of teachers, on their motivation. So we'll see. Now, what about your presentation? How much time will you need, actually?
No, I don't need too much time. It's maybe about 15 or 20 minutes max, and I have some links to show to the participants, so apart from my presentation. So I was here confused if I should interrupt the presentation and show them the links, or keep the links to the end.
No, it's up to you to decide, Mrs. Dammakh. It's up to you to decide. Now, there's no problem. It depends on your the way you prepared the presentation. You can stop and show the links, or you can wait till the end to show the links. Now, for the discussion, we'll leave it till the end. But for the presentation, it's up to you to decide. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now, I'd like to welcome other participants, actually. Mr. Hamdi Lamin, right? So welcome, right? And my colleague, Mrs. Atwi Lama, so welcome to the session.
Hi, welcome, Mr. Hamdi and Mrs. Lama.
Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
So I hope that more, thank you. So I hope that more participants will join us. Actually, we are a bit ahead of time. Actually, 10:25, according to my laptop's clock.
Still 5 minutes.
Right, still 5 minutes. Mrs. Lama, can you hear us? It's fine.
Mr. Hassan, yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, everybody.
How are you
all doing?
Lama? Thank you. We are fine. Welcome to this session.
Excuse me?
Welcome to the session, I said. So it's a pleasure to have you among us.
The pleasure is all mine, and I wish you all very good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You're most welcome. Our friend also, Si Hassan Jmail from Saudi Arabia. Welcome, Si Hassan Jmail. How are you?
Mr. Hassan. Morning.
Hassan, yes, Hassan.
Hassan, sorry.
I think, yeah. So he's just trying to speak a little bit.
Still unmuted.
Yeah. Si Hassan, can you hear us? That's fine, no problem.
I can hear you, but I don't know if you can hear me.
Now, can you hear him, Saeed?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's fine, Si Hassan. Welcome. Now, anyway, you will be starting in 3 or 5 minutes, I said, and I need to remind our friends and all the participants that this session will be recorded so that the others who didn't have a chance to participate can see it later, can watch it later at their own pace. I'll just post it on 2 places, actually, the Facebook group that I have, the teachers I work with in the area of Mednin, and also on Tajirba Facebook group. Okay, so it's difficult, these are hard times, especially today is Sunday and many people are maybe doing some kind of shopping, I don't know, so these are hard times, especially this time of the year, okay? Many teachers are doing other kind of work for exams,
It's
etc.
Sunday today.
Yeah,
Today
it's
is Sunday.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Shopping day.
Shopping day. Yeah.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Si Hassan. Now
Can
I
you
can
hear me
hear
now?
you better. Now, yeah,
Oh,
now
very
that's
good.
better, I think.
How are you?
Yeah, Si Hassan.
How are you? Doing great?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Pleased to have you among us.
Thank you very much, Kamel. Thank you very much.
Welcome, welcome.
As you know, here in Saudi Arabia, Sunday is the first day of the week, so it's not a weekend.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. In the Gulf countries, all the Gulf countries actually. Now even our friend Si Said is talking from Qatar, so it's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I used to teach in Bahrain, and I have a clear idea about the thing. Okay.
But it's holiday. There's no.
Huh? Now the
Holiday.
holiday is Friday.
But it's still, you know, it's the summer vacation, so people supposed to be at home now. Sleeping.
No,
You
there's
mean
a
teachers?
keyword that I posted on my Facebook.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
on
mean
my blog.
teachers, not
It's
all
a
people.
staycation. It's a staycation for you. This year, Si Hassan and Si Said.
Yes. We
Yeah,
are
is there
stuck.
a lockdown there?
Sorry?
Lockdown is the
It's no more a kind of lockdown. They are free, I guess. You can go out, right, Si Said?
We can, yes, we can, but not.
There are no. There are less restrictions. I mean.
yeah, maybe less restrictions.
Yeah, less, but still, we have restrictions.
Okay.
Mm.
Anyway,
Even
which
today on Friday and Saturday, shops are closed.
okay, I see.
Okay,
So anyway, just stay safe and take care.
take care.
This is my tip for you.
Thank you.
So what do you think, Said? Can we start and you start the recording? Have you started the recording? Yes.
Yeah,
I
the recording
didn't
is-
see it.
Yeah, I started.
I think
So
maybe
it's up to you to decide. Yeah, Mrs. Damakh, you want to say something? Yeah.
yeah, I think maybe we can do a
Wait.
couple of minutes.
Okay, no problem. Can wait a bit more. Okay.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
Not too much.
That's fine. You know, sometimes technology fails us. We are doing our best, but sometimes it fails us. I guess that many people also face difficulties in getting connected to us due to some internet problems and maybe lack of experience. Many teachers actually ask for some kind of training, special training in the area of technology, and I know that many teachers really struggle with this, and they want to participate. They are eager to know more, but they face difficulties. And I hope that in the future we can work a bit more on this area so that more teachers can participate and can be encouraged.
Sure, Mr. Kevin. You are ready to help. Anytime you can call me and we can arrange a meeting about any tools of Microsoft.
Yeah, okay, we'll do some work and I'll keep you updated, Said. Okay, so it's a pleasure to work with you. Now you were my classmate at the university, and now we are friends more than this kind of official relationship. Okay, kind of.
So we are ready to help with Microsoft tools, PowerPoint, OneNote, Class Notebook, Sway, Forms, any tools of Microsoft.
Okay,
we can introduce them to your teachers, and we can encourage them to start using them.
Thank you, Sisai.
If you want to apply for this certificate, you need evidence, and the evidence usually comes from using technology inside your classroom. So you have to prove that you are using Microsoft tools in your classroom.
Okay, good. So Thuraya has just joined us. Welcome,
Hello.
Mrs. Thuraya. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Morning.
Hello, welcome, morning.
Thank you for this nice opportunity, Si Kamal.
Welcome, Mrs. Suraya. It's always a pleasure to have this kind of chat with you and to have teachers' participation. So welcome anytime. It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Will Mrs. Saida join? Do you have an idea?
No idea.
No idea. Okay.
Yeah. Mrs. Hajar will join us. Hajar Mhiri.
I have Hajar, but I don't know.
Hajar Mhiri.
Hajar, no.
Yeah.
Is this Hajar with us or another one? Sorry.
No, I am Hajar Brahman. I work in Hammam Lymph.
All right. Welcome, Mrs. Brahman. Oh,
Thank you.
fine. Okay. Okay, Mr. Shabby. What do you think?
It's up to Noha. She can start.
Yes.
No, what do you think? Noha will start or you will?
Noha will start because I need time.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now, before you start, Mrs. Dammak, before you start, now let me just introduce this webinar, put it into its context, because it's recorded, and I said it's being recorded actually, and other colleagues, other teachers will have a chance to watch it later. So I'd like to welcome every single participant in this webinar again for the second time. And many thanks should go first to my friend, colleague, Mr. Shabby Saeed, who is talking to us from Qatar. Now he is actually an ELT teacher in a state school in Qatar, right? So welcome, Mr. Shabby, and thank you for offering us this kind of help and all the details you will be showing us later on in relation to Microsoft International expertise or expert. And it is about the annual certificate. It's an annual certificate offered by Microsoft, right? So you will give us more details later. Now, I'll just introduce you briefly in a moment. Then many thanks also should go to our colleague, Mrs. Dammak Noha, talking to us from Tunis. Welcome, Mrs. Dammak, again. And
welcome.
Thank you for, yes, you are welcome. Thank you for showing readiness to participate in this webinar after a kind of discussion held with you in private and over the phone. And you will be talking about the role of ICT in strengthening the 21st century skills. Is this the title of your topic, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I'll get back to you, Mrs. Dammak. Before I pass on, the mic to my friend, Mr. Shabby. Mr. Shabby is an ELT teacher who is currently working in Qatar, in a public school in Qatar. He has been doing great work for a long time in relation to innovative teaching and training. And he has already sent me his resume, and I find it quite interesting, actually. Many interesting things, many participations at the international level, and many certificates. I'm sorry, I cannot state all of them, but just to mention the most important ones, in the sense that, for example, the most recent participation was in May 2020 with Microsoft Skype, an event called Ask a Guest Speaker. That was his most recent participation. Mr. Shabby also got the TOT, the Training of Trainers Diploma, in December 2016, and many other certificates, including Microsoft Master Trainer. And I think this is part of it. Now he's going to clarify many things in relation to Microsoft.
Mr. Said.
Thank you, Wasila.
Okay, Mrs. Dammakh, now because you will be talking, I guess, before Mr. Shebi, so I'll just get on with your brief introduction of your experience. Mrs. Dammakh is an LT teacher who has been working for 14 years now. She has an MA in New Educational Technology, designing online courses for teachers on the CNTE, le Centre National Tunisien de l'Éducation platform. And she's interested in effective integration of technology in education. So welcome, both of you, and welcome to our guests. So, Mrs. Dammakh, the floor is yours. Please, you can just start. Please.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Kamel, for this opportunity. Welcome, my colleagues. So I'm going to talk to you as a colleague here. I'm not an expert on anything. I'm going to share my experience using technology and especially on strengthening the 21st century skills. I'm sorry for my voice here.
It's okay.
I'm going to share my screen here. I have a PowerPoint to share with you.
Okay, take your time.
Okay, so can you see my screen here?
Yes,
Right.
that's clear for me with the title, the first slide with the title, yeah?
Yes, that's great. Okay, so as we've talked earlier, it's about the importance of teaching with ICT in strengthening the 21st century skills. Where is the 21st here? So, so we are going to start by trying to identify or to talk about these 21st century skills. Actually, this term refers to a broad set of knowledge, skills, work habits, and character traits that are believed to be critically important to success in today's world. And maybe generally speaking, these skills can be applied in all academic subject areas and in all educational, career, and civic settings throughout the student's life. So I'm going to share a list of these skills, but it's a reduced list here. I'm not going to share the whole list because especially as English teachers, we are not focusing on other skills like scientific literacy and environmental, etc. So here we're going to start by the critical thinking, which includes problem solving, reasoning, analysis, interpretation, synthesizing information. So these skills are considered, maybe by me at least, as very important to raise a very a person with critical thinking skill. And here we have the research skills and practices, interrogative questioning, creativity that includes curiosity, imagination, innovation. We have the self-direction, the planning, self-discipline. So this is another skill. The communication, oral, written, public speaking and presenting, listening to others. This is communication, and this is what do we need from students, and this is what we want them to master. The ICT literacy and digital literacy, media literacy, internet literacy, data interpretation and analysis. This is also important for students of our days. Leadership, collaboration, and cooperation between students. This is something teamwork that we need That's why in our classes we sometimes ask them to work in groups and work in pairs so that they can exchange ideas, they can help each other, they can work in teams, and we're going to explain how it's going to be beneficial for them. And finally, civic or ethic and social justice, literacy, so they need to be aware about their context, their environment, where do they live, and we want them to be maybe a citizen, to build a citizen of the world, citizen of a good citizen for our country, our Tunisia. So here we're going to focus on just the 4 C's, the critical thinking, communication, creativity, and collaboration. This is for today. Of course, all of them with a digital literacy, which is going to be connected to all of them. So, why do I consider them as important as the traditional subject areas? So here, you know that students need to master these subjects like languages, art, geography, science, social studies, and we need to complement all of the subjects with new skills that will prepare them for real life situations or work career. So here, in fact, when talking to my former students and some of the newly graduated persons, they claimed that recruiters, while looking for a job, they noticed that recruiters would interview them about some other skills rather than their diplomas, because there is a tendency that they will ask for these skills. Here we talk about especially communication, public speaking, critical thinking, and collaboration, because nowadays these recruiters need people to work together, need them to work on a project together, so they need to complement each others and to collaborate. So the choice that we are going to make, which ICT for which skill or skills, and here remember that we are not going to use only, for example, one tool for a particular skill. There are a set of skills that we can reach or work on through just one tool. So here we are going to talk precisely about these tools that will enable us. And our role as teachers here is to foster these skills and try to combine both traditional and 21st century skills to build a well-balanced person who will be able to integrate the work life and be a good citizen, which we're talking about here. And the use of technology will help us a lot to facilitate and ensure better practice of these skills. And here the decision that we are going to make about the right tool or device, also devices are included in ICT, depends on our objective and the target skill for this particular student or activity. I sometimes assign a particular project or a particular tool to a group and another one to the other group, because the objective differs from one group to another and from one student to another. And here we are going to focus on these skills. We are going to deal with the skill and the right tools for this skill to strengthen this particular skill. Let's start with communication. Am I talking too fast or something like that?
Oh, it's okay.
It's
okay.
That's fine for me. Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Great.
Go ahead.
Okay, great. So here we are going to start with communication. So this tool, the traditional that we most of us work with it, the PowerPoint. Here, PowerPoint presentation. Usually, we ask students to prepare this presentation. Sometimes we ask them to send us this presentation, and that's okay. I don't see any benefit from preparing this PowerPoint and sending it to us, because the purpose here is to focus on their public speaking. They need to present it. I know that we have many problems to do that because of our infrastructure, and we need the classroom, we need the equipped classroom, and etc. But we're trying to do it, okay? And some teachers, most of teachers actually are doing that and are doing great job enabling students and allowing students to present their work. And they really, when you ask them to present their work, they would be really happy and delighted to do it. They will be motivated, and this is what I noticed from my students. They will be motivated. And here my role is to focus on their public speaking skills and to show them which point to show, which point to talk about, and how to present this and not this, etc. So these are some tips that this is the opportunity to make them master this presentation, because sometimes I'm talking about their career now. They need to do some presentation and convince others about a product or something, so they need to master this skill. And here, when talking about Edmodo or Workplace by Facebook, or even Facebook itself, a Facebook group, maybe forums also. So these tools are used to create a virtual classroom. Okay, I'm not talking about classroom, or it's a virtual classroom or a virtual place where both the students, where students will exchange ideas and communicate with each others. And the teacher here is going to comment or make some suggestions, or to focus on their communication to help them communicate. And maybe sometimes they tend to write a whole paragraph just to communicate one idea. So it's not necessary to write the whole paragraph here to talk about this idea. You need only to write one sentence to go directly to the point. It's not a writing, it's not a piece of writing, it's a communication here. So that's why it's important to show them how to pitch their ideas. Also, to help them communicate, sometimes, which seems very strange here. Powtoon, I'm talking about Powtoon as a tool, but let's talk about video editing here. They need sometimes video editing, or we as teachers assign video editing to make them communicate their thoughts through pictures or video, just video through pictures, and maybe their voices recorded. They put their voices recorded, or sometimes music. The choice of these pictures and the choice of the music themselves will help them communicate their ideas perfectly, especially when trying to make a relation between this music and the theme of this music with the theme that they are talking about. This is going to help them to communicate perfectly. So now we're going to move. This is all for communication, not all, but this is for the presentation, but you can maybe we can share some ideas later on about other tools. Maybe you are using some other tools to communicate, to enhance this, to strengthen this skill later on. I can learn from you also. So for the collaboration, here there are too many collaborative tools that help us as teachers implement this skill. Yeah, they can, for example, create an ebook. Here, the ebook is, I consider, is very important because they can create they can insert too many items, too many different materials. They can insert media, articles, and here I have chosen Story Jumper because I have used it with my students. We need to create an account, and they need also, students need to create an account, and we share the link with them, and they can collaborate. They can make a book together, and each one is going to contribute. Here, maybe I can show you a sample. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing the presentation so that I will be able to share the Story Jumper. So you see here, this is a part of a project about SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, that students from different places from different places gathered together to create this e-book. Look at this, it's like an e-book. So all the thank goes to Mrs. Atwi, who supervised this work. And here the first page. Okay, so these are posters created by our students. The pledge, and here pledge. Another poster. So these posters and the pledge and everything is here is not by only one student. So 3 students took part in this in creating this ebook, and this is the beauty of the work. They can collaborate to create one product. You see, so here a short story. So we can combine the 21st century skills with the traditional skills that we need, the language skills, the reading, the writing, the listening, and the speaking. So here they have created a video. Okay, so this was the Story Jumper. I'm going to my presentation so that we finish. Okay.
So I guess you still have 2 items to be introduced, Mrs. Damak, right? 2 items? Yeah.
Actually, more. More? Okay.
You can just wrap it up and introduce briefly with some examples for the sake of time, because Mr. Shebbi still have.
It's okay, no problem. No problem. I'm here. No problem.
Okay, I'm going to
take your time.
Okay, so for still with collaboration, we can make them write a short story using the Google Doc, so they can create a story, and we can also correct them. They can correct to each other's peer correction. the Padlet is a very good tool that I assign for students sometimes to share ideas, and it's a very good space of collaboration, and it's helpful because they can create their own articles, stories, and they can also insert some media. So here I intended to show you some of my students' works, but I'll keep it to the end so that we save time, okay? Still in the collaboration here, we have the Google Slide. Google Slides here, they can create it something like the PowerPoint, and they can use this to create their own presentation collaboratively. So here they can collaborate to create their own just one presentation. We can also use Lino, we can also use Jamboard and Mentimeter to brainstorm ideas sometimes in the class. So these are some of my students' works on Jamboard, Mentimeter, and Lino. The critical thinking.
Sorry
yes.
to interrupt you. Now, I think that it will be possible for all the participants to have this presentation, right? So that they will find the links later. So do you mind if you send us later on your presentation?
Of course. Yeah,
okay.
Of course.
So we can share it. So it
Okay.
will be easier for them to follow the links, okay? Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so for the critical thinking, I usually ask them to reflect on their experience through different tools. For example, field trip. We did a field trip to the Museum of Education, which was part of the first farmers who are studying about Maria Montessori and the difference between traditional and modern education, etc. So they went to the Museum of Education here in Tunis, and they reflected on their experience. They expressed their feelings through Padlet. And some other students, we went to other trips, and they reflected on their experiences through, so this is through PowerPoint, through Mentimeter, word clouds, etc., through Padlet, as I said, and through Google Slides. So, and also blogging. I encourage them to create their own blogs, to write about their diaries, about their experience, about to share anything. This will make them express their opinion, and they will feel that this is their space, and they will write freely. Of course, this tool is going to motivate them because, you know, consider it as their space, and this will encourage them to think critically about any experience they went through. Of course, here some blogs by my students, you can visit them, and also the YouTube. Here I'm not talking about YouTube as consumers, but as content creators. You know, this new concept about content creators. So why don't we use it reasonably to ask them to criticize or to comment on a particular thing, of course, to learn them or to teach them how to criticize without hurting each other, or to without making some errors that we are witnessing nowadays. Okay, so I think it's okay now. We have reached our final. So is it okay to share the links, or I'll give the floor to Mr. Saeed, Mr. Kamel?
Thank you very much, Mrs. Dammaq. That's quite interesting. Now, in my opinion, we can just give them a chance to have a look at the links, check them at their own pace later on, because the presentation will be shared. But if you want to go for that for the time being, just for a sample, there's no problem, okay? You are the presenter, you are the boss, you can decide. Okay, no problem. So I'm just moderating the event.
Okay, maybe I'm going to show one Padlet.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
Maybe.
So just show us 1 or 2 samples.
Yeah. Okay. So here, remember, I'm sharing. This is my. This is to show you my experience dealing with this topic, and you, of course, I can learn from you. And here, I'm going to share Museum of Education, maybe. Yes, Museum of Education. So you see here. So this is this is Padlet, and it consists on some so pupils.
Yeah.
Pupils will contribute. They will create some content. Will insert some pictures, and this is their feedback, their reflection on the visit to the Museum of Education here. So what they talked about, what they have seen, and they talked about the modern school, etc. So here, some things that they have seen there. Maybe I'll show you the other Padlet. No, not. Okay, Mentimeter. So here it's used to it's used for the brainstorming. Here I create a space and give them the question, and the result is word cloud. Of course, they are going to answer by 1, 2, 3 words or expressions, and here this tool is going to create a word cloud, and they're going to be delighted and happy when seeing while seeing or their answers displayed on board or maybe at a show, etc. So here they're going to see the screen, and they will be motivated to share other thoughts about a particular topic. Maybe.
Yeah.
But yes, they are nice works, and I want to share them all.
Okay, I know that
Okay, so
your products are really interesting, and due to time, I'm sorry we cannot see all of them, but we will certainly do that at our own pace.
I encourage you to discover them.
Actually, I gave you more than 15 or 20 minutes. You asked for 20, but
okay, sorry, I have.
It's okay.
I have a problem.
Don't need to apologize. No, that's fine. That's fine. No problem.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Kamal, for this opportunity. I'm really grateful, and meeting with you and with my colleagues is all the time beneficial.
Don't leave, Mrs. Damak.
No, I'm not leaving. No, I want to listen to. I want to attend Mr. Said workshop. So here, I'm very motivated to attend it. Okay, I'm very grateful to be here. I'm very happy also. Okay.
Welcome. Thank you, Mrs. Damak. Now, just a kind of summary, maybe if you don't mind, of your presentation. Now you've gone through a wide range of skills, actually, and I can just summarize them according to a kind of classification. Some of the experts in the field categorize them into 3 types: learning skills, literacy skills, and life skills, right?
Yes.
Now, your focus practically was on the learning skills called the 4 C's: critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication.
Yes.
And you've presented some of the examples. Now, there are, of course, many other skills that should be tackled in the future, and they deserve to be analyzed thoroughly. Thank you anyway for this kind of presentation, this kind of work, which is really insightful. And I guess that our colleagues and the participants here enjoyed your work. Now, I'll just give them some time, if you don't mind, and Saeed as well. If any one of our guests would like to ask you a question about your projects, about your works, or any kind of reaction to your presentation. So
maybe they want to add something.
You want to add?
Mr. Kamal.
They want to add something, maybe.
Yes, sure. Saeed, what do you suggest?
Concerning communication, I can suggest Flipgrid. Flipgrid is a tool, and it's very, very, very important.
Yes.
In which you suggest a topic to your student and leave them to express themselves using videos.
Yes.
So
that's another tool.
They sign in and they talk with yourselves. They talk and express themselves about the topic that you suggest, or any topic they like.
Yes.
I'm sure each one of us here and our colleagues has another tool to be introduced, and they have already tried that, whether with their teachers or with their students. So now there are many tools. Now the most important thing is that it should be free for teachers, right? Freeware, not shareware. So, because this is really problematic if they are shareware, so teachers will struggle. So I'd like to welcome our colleague Camelia Difalla, right? So welcome, Mrs. Camelia.
Yes.
So any reactions, dear guests?
Yes,
Mr. Hassan, yes.
Hassan, yes, please.
I have two questions for Ms. Namak. So first of all, let me thank you for this wonderful presentation. My first question is, can we use these tools with young learners, like primary school pupils? That's my first question. For my second question, it's nice you've been through a wide range of tools, but what about assessment? How can we assess those skills?
You mean how can we assess that the skill is already that we reached the necessary skill? That's what we want to say.
Yes.
Now, maybe do you use a special grid for assessment? So how do you, if I understood my friend's question, how do you assess the student's skill? How do you evaluate that at the end? Is this, am I right, Hassan?
Yes.
Yeah, shall we go for summative assessment or for formative assessment, or maybe there is another?
Yeah.
So first of all, the question is about the type of assessment that you use.
Yes.
Then how? Okay. Have you tried that? Do you have any experience in relation to assessment in general?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, please.
I'm going to start with this question. So here, it can be used for both formative and summative. Yes, because you know that we are asked to give them a mark about the project and sometimes the speaking test. So maybe we can combine both and make the average between them. And here, for each project, I prepare a grade for this project. So it depends on the target. Here, I give them the instruction. I'm essentially is the relevance to the topic first. Second, the collaboration, because these tools enable me to see if the involved students have taken part in this this project or not. So this is something beneficial, because sometimes you ask them to prepare a project and they come back with the paper and then they say that they have collaborated creating this leaflet or this thing without knowing that who actually has taken part in which, but these tools enabled me to know exactly the task or the job that everyone has done. And what else? The assessment, yes.
Young learners. Okay.
Young learners. Young learners, yes, sometimes maybe we can, yes, I think we can use them. And I used them with my daughter, which is 7 years old. So I guess that young learners can use them, because I teach in the secondary level, so I didn't use them with the students, but I used them with my daughter. So I guess some of them can be used with young learners, even though just inserting media or inserting pictures, that's all, maybe.
Yeah, some of the software programs are easier to use maybe with young learners, such as, for example, you've mentioned multimedia, cloud, brainstorming. So some of the tools are maybe easier than others. So just give it a try and see, Hassan, in the future if you have a chance. Anyway.
Yeah, some of my colleagues are actually using them. My colleagues from the primary education are using them, and I learned some good, yeah, they are claiming that it's easy to use with students, but in class, not at home.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the questions and for the answers. Any other reactions
Mrs.
from the participants?
Mrs. Camelia.
Welcome, Mrs. Camelia.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Thanks.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I do. What about you?
Yeah, that's fine. We can hear you very well. Perfect.
Okay.
Hi, Mrs. Camelia. How are you doing?
Hello. Fine, thanks. I'd just like to say something about what Mrs. Damak has been presenting. First, I'd like to thank her for the great effort she's doing with her students. Okay, that's really great. Concerning the question about the tools she's dealt with, I guess there was a question whether these tools can be used for formative assessment.
Yeah.
And yes, they are actually meant for formative assessment. Okay, so she is using them to deal with skills like collaboration and critical thinking and ICT skills, but through that she is dealing with formative assessment. Okay, so through Mentimeter, for example, when the students do the brainstorming, through the Padlet when they share their ideas and give feedback and comments on their in their peers' work. So that's really interesting. Okay.
Good.
Yes. Yes, that's it, Mrs. Camelia.
Yes, thank you for the huge efforts you're making. Okay.
I hope that your answers, the queries, Mr. Jmail, were answered. That's fine.
She answered better than me.
No, that's fine.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Camelia.
Thanks.
Any other reactions before we give the floor to Mr. Shabbi?
Kamel? Thuraya?
Yes, this is Thuraya, yes.
Hi. I would like to thank Mrs. Damak for the nice presentation. It was really interesting. Thank you, Mrs. Nuha.
Welcome. Welcome. Nice meeting with you, Mrs. Thuraya.
Thank you. I'm very happy to.
Hello, Mrs. Thuraya.
I have one question for you. Which application is more appropriate for teenagers? Ninth formers, for example.
Ninth formers?
Yeah.
All of them,
I use
all of them.
All of them, yes.
With them. I tried it this year.
All of them.
It depends on your objective, okay?
You have the third hour. It's really a great opportunity to practice all these tools with them in the third hour, and they will enjoy it. They will be motivated, more motivated. I guess they are motivated, but more motivated using them and preparing their projects, maybe their activities, and doing some activities, yes, during this hour, and all of them are suitable for them, and all of them has been done with them.
Okay.
Now, just to help you with the answer, Mrs. Damma, now I have always considered the classroom as a kind of lab, okay? Teachers use it to experiment new things each time. So start with one of them, opt for one of the software programs here presented by our colleague, and see how it works with your students.
Okay.
I guess that I share the same attitude that all of them are practical, can be used in the class with any level. It depends on the objective, it depends on the content of the session and how you furnish it, etc. So it's up to you to decide, but just try them one by one and see. It's up to you to give us the feedback to see which one is really more effective than the others, maybe later on.
Maybe sometimes teachers are claiming that maybe complaining about the infrastructure, and they are teaching in maybe places where students, not all of them own smartphones that they can use. Or I think that it's okay to, because it's third hour, so they are going to work in groups. Maybe if you can afford, or one of them can afford one smartphone or two smartphones, maybe they can work in groups. So this is a solution for that I used to do. I used to provide them with one smartphone, and the other student will bring his or her tablet or smartphone, and there will be two, so they can use them in class. Of course.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Dam. Thank you.
Mrs. Camelia? Sorry.
Hello. Okay, I just want to say something about that, which is, I mean, she's been talking about infrastructure, and yes, that's true, because all teachers are complaining about that. I would like to say that they shouldn't be used in class, okay? Why not use them to give an assignment at home, okay? I mean, have sort of flipped classroom, okay? So you give the assignment at home, and most students have internet connection at home, so they can do the task at home, and back, I mean, in class during the third hour session or any time, they can discuss what their peers did and give feedback on that, okay?
Yeah,
so
that's
it shouldn't necessarily be in class, okay? So at home, yes, why not? So they work at home, have no internet connection in class, no equipment, work at home, and come back to give feedback. Okay, so, and that is a high order thinking skill. I mean, giving feedback on a peer's work. So why not?
Okay, thank you. That's good.
Thank you.
Now, without further ado, please, I give the floor to Mr. Shabi. Now you can just start talking to us about your topic, Mr. Shabi. Welcome.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kamal. Thank you all the participants, and special thanks to Noha for her great presentation. And I'll share my PowerPoint. So today we'll speak about how to nominate yourself, how to apply to be a Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert. We'll speak about, first I'll introduce the Microsoft Education community. Then I'll speak quickly about the 3 steps to apply to be a Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert and get the certificate. If time allows us, I'll speak about some tools which we can use inside your classroom and which are good, or let's say important evidence for you to get this certificate. So, as we said, Mr. Kamal, the poll, whether you are Microsoft or whether you have an account in Microsoft or you don't have, If you don't have, it's okay. We can make it now. I will ask my colleagues whether have you got a Microsoft account?
No, Said, can they use the chat box, please? I don't know. It's not activated here on my computer.
Yes, they can use it. Yes.
I don't know if the other. I can have a look at the chat box. Maybe.
No, you can't.
You can't, huh? Right.
No. No.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know what's going on.
He needs to activate that.
Okay, let me check.
It says chat in channel meetings is only available to team members.
Yeah.
That's the message that.
Go back to your settings.
It's in settings.
And now is it okay? Is it visible to you?
Not yet.
See it?
Not yet.
So keep out.
No problem, Said. We can ask them one by one if you want to have their answers.
Because I have 7 responses and 5 of them, they do not have the accounts. So we can start by making accounts for them.
You want it to happen now, you mean?
Yeah, we can make it together. We can just log in.
So should we be connected or logged in?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You have to connect to Microsoft, www.education.microsoft.com. The site, I'll share it with you. Let me share the site. Yes, this is the site. Yeah, this is the site.
So,
education, Microsoft.com.
Education.
Yeah, education.microsoft.com. So this is the site, and this is the community. Yes, just please log in and open this page.
Now let me just ask the participants whether how they feel about this. Is that really practical? Can you log in? Can you toggle between the internet and so is that practical? How do you feel?
It's okay. Yes, they can do it.
They can do it, no problem.
They can follow us and do the work at the same time. It's okay.
Okay, so now we are on the page actually.
Yeah.
Shall we click get started?
No, before that, let me just give you an idea about the site.
Okay.
So this is Educator Center. If you look at the page, this is the site. Here we have training. And here we have courses. Courses, if you click on courses, you can find hundreds of courses. You can go through, you can take, and after each course, you can have a badge and a certificate. And you have, as you notice, you have many hundreds of courses. You can go through, you can do it, you can take, you can learn. And these are all about Microsoft tools. Minecraft, PowerPoint, Word, any tools you imagine, it is here. And you can take a course and get a certificate. Also, you can have the learning path. For example, I got, 7 certificates. How can I know that I have this certificate? So from the learning paths. So these are the learning paths. And each learning path is made of maybe a number of certificates, a number of courses. For example, let's see this course, 21st Century Learning Design. You can see how many courses? 1, 2, 3, 4, about 7 courses. You can take them, take your time, and take them, and each course has a a number of points. For example, this course, 850 points. When you finish, you get a badge and a certificate. And when you finish this course, you'll get 7,500 points to your account. And we have many courses like this. You can take your time, you can go through them, you can take them all. It's okay, why not? Even in this community, you have lesson plans. You can find lesson plans about many topics. You can also find Skype in the classroom. Here, I mean virtual fields, trips. You can go to virtual trips to anywhere in the world you imagine. Anywhere, to America, to Japan, you can go there and visit the place. And as Mrs. Noha said, you can write your feedback maybe on Padlet, on any other tool. Okay, here we have the programs of Microsoft. And this is our program today, Microsoft Innovative Educator Programs. Student Teacher Education Program, Showcase Program, and this is the Showcase, means that it's a certificate that the school, all the school, or let's say 80% of the school are using Microsoft tools, so you will be nominated as a Showcase school. Also here you have resources. If you look at the resources, you have hundreds of resources, plans, lesson plans, resources, and many other resources that you can use, and they are very useful for you in your classroom. Let me get back to the Educator Center, and we can make, or let's say create, from here you can create. Are you hearing me, Mr. Kamal?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yes. Those who do not have an account, I invite them just to make an account or create an account from here. You can sign in. Let me sign out. So you can from here, the top right corner, sign in. You can sign in. Okay. Yes, Mr. Campbell. Also, you can do it. Yeah, you can create an account to yourself to follow us, please.
I think I have an account, right?
Okay. Yes. If you have an account, you can log in. If you already have, you can log in.
Okay. I will log in with my own account.
Yeah. I don't know if my colleagues have accounts, or are they signing in? I don't know.
I'm creating an account now, Sikame.
Okay, good.
Okay. Mrs. Germesi's Thuraya is creating an account. Mrs. Atwi, do you have an account? Let me answer them one by one.
I already have an account.
Okay, Mrs. Atwi has got already an account. Mrs. Camelia, I guess. You have.
Okay, those please who do not
have an account. Okay, let me check with Mr. Hassan. Jumail, you have an account?
Yes, I do have one.
Okay.
We have
Hamdi also.
I think.
Yes.
Mrs. Hamdi, I didn't hear your answer, sorry.
Yeah, I do have an account.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Mrs. Miri Hajar, do you have an account on Microsoft?
Lubna. Yes, Lubna.
Mrs. Lubna Kamoun, welcome to the session. Do you have a Microsoft account, or you otherwise you need to do it now?
Yes, I have.
Okay, she already has. Thank you. Mrs. Hajar from Hamamlan, do you have an account?
I'm creating mine now, but
okay.
if possible, short question. Does this relate to Microsoft 365 that we are going to use? It's by the Ministry of Education, and we are going to use next school year.
Yeah, Sure, yes.
Yes, it is.
It's my, yes, Office 365, yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Good.
And you can use your personal accounts.
Okay.
Or maybe Tarbia.1 is a very good account. You can create with the Tarbia.
Yes, why not? Yes, you can use a personal or Tarbia account. It's okay. Yes, it's up to you. But I advise you to use a personal account, because maybe Tarbia will no longer exist, so you'll lose your achievements. So it's better to use personal.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, you can use Yahoo, you can use Gmail, you can use Outlook, any type of accounts. So just we wait for Mr. Hajar to finish. I think it's easy to create an account.
I just forgot my password and I need to.
Kamal?
I'm trying, Mr. Kamal, but I can't.
You already have an account, Mrs. Hajar?
Which of Hajar's? I'm creating mine, but I think there is a. I have the new browser recommended by Microsoft is here.
The password, you mean? You lost the password.
So we have here, we have two Hajars, Mr. Kamal. We have Hajar Mhiri and.
I think I heard the voice of both of them. Huh?
Yeah.
Brahim. Hajar Brahim.
Hajar Brahim, yes, welcome.
Thanks.
I can't, I'm sorry.
My password. This is.
No, just forgot. Yeah, just forgot your password, and they will reset to you.
Yeah, that's what I did. I'm using another password, and it says that this is your old password.
You're old.
Same here, Kamal.
Go back and use it.
Kamal?
Yes, please.
Same
Yes,
here.
right.
I'm using another password because I forgot the other one, because I had an account.
Yeah.
So I'm still waiting for the new one.
Now you go. Now it goes to your the address email that you provided them with.
Yeah.
So you check the
Just
email.
open your email and check.
Okay.
Just give us a couple of minutes, Saeed.
Yeah, no problem. Yes, take your time.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kamal, I can't.
You can't?
I can't. It's a loss of time.
Okay, just
you can create a new one. It's okay. You can create. Hajar, you can create a new. You can create a new account. It's okay. You go down and create a new account.
Create another one, Mrs. Mhiri.
Yeah, you can create a new one. Yes.
Don't give up the fight. Don't give up.
Okay.
You know, I'm already in. That's fine for me.
Okay.
Me too. It's okay.
Yeah.
So those who finishes, please. So just click. You click on profile photo, and you can see my profile. Also, we have redeem achievement codes. If you click on my profile, you can find. If you have achievements, you can find your achievements here.
Otherwise, it says you don't have any badges yet.
Yeah,
like
otherwise, if you are new, so you don't find anything, so it's you can start from now and take courses.
So you view the courses and you choose one of them.
Yeah, yeah. Right? Redeem achievements. This one, or redeem achievement codes. This for training. If you take a training with a trainer, like today, the trainer will provide you with the codes, and you can use them to get points. You get points, and you get badges.
Okay.
For today, yeah, for today, you can. Let me try. I'll give you a redeem code, and you try it, and you see how many points you get for this.
Okay.
I'll share with you the badges. These are the badges of today of Office 365, and we'll speak later on about Sway. You can use one of them or three of them, it's up to you. Today you have two codes, the first and the second, and they will give you points to start and to give you let's say a push to start.
Okay, so shall we try?
Yeah, try it. Try the first and the second and third. It's up to you, and see how many points we'll get. Then we'll continue our presentation.
Okay.
I invite all my friends, colleagues.
Right.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't, Mr. Kemal.
You can't what?
I can't.
It's okay, no problem, Ms. Hajr. It's okay. Just you follow with us, and you can do it later on. Take these codes, please.
Okay.
You can, yes, take them down, and you can use them later on if you manage to create an account or.
Okay. I have tried the first one, Saeed.
Yes.
And it says, it congratulates me for that. You completed the following training: MIE Office 365 Teacher Academy.
Yes.
You also earned the following badges: Certified Microsoft Innovative Educator, Office 365 Teacher Academy, and 7 more.
Yeah, you'll find
So
a badge and you find a certificate for this.
Okay.
Because, Mr. Kamal, to nominate yourself to apply for this certificate, you need minimum 1,000 points to start.
Okay, good.
So you need a minimum 1,000 points to apply for the certificate. And I think now you have 1,500. Is it okay for the rest, please?
Sorry, but where exactly do you find the points?
The points is your profile photo, your profile picture photo. Just click on it and go down to redeem achievement code.
It's a redeem code, actually. It's written redeem code on the right.
Redeem achievement code. And codes are differs. If you take, for example, if you attend a training like this, you get a code. And also, if you take a course yourself, you take courses, you get points and you get certificate as well. Okay.
Is that fine?
Yes.
Yeah, I did understood that, but I didn't know how to find where are my general points.
Yeah, here. Are you following with me?
Yes.
Mr. Hassan.
To the main screen, please. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, go back to the website. Your profile photo here. We have here a redeem achievement code. Click on it and you insert, just copy or insert the redeem code and you redeem. Okay.
I actually proceeded in a different way. I went to my profile.
Yes.
And then to the right corner, redeem code. So it's the same procedure, I guess.
The same procedure,
okay.
the same thing. Redeem from here. You did from here.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Come in.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Mr. Suraya, yes.
I have my account now, so I went to profile. What's the next step?
The next step, you go to your profile and redeem a code or achievement code. Your profile photo, then go down to redeem code.
Utiliser un code. It is in French.
You can. Yes, the same thing.
Yeah. So utiliser un code. So I will write the code.
I'll show you. I'll share with you the codes. These are the codes.
So
you can use them.
Yeah, I have.
You can write them. You can and just click redeem.
The three codes, Said?
Just type the first one.
Yeah, the first and the second. Yes, you can take the three. It's okay, no problem.
Okay.
And each code will give you more points. Mr. Kamal, you can try the three. It's okay.
Okay, I'll just.
And each code will give you points.
Okay. I'll get back and try the second one.
Okay.
I tried all three. It worked well.
It works
well.
Yeah, okay, yes. Good. It's a good start, Mr. Hassan, to go on and take the certificate, inshallah.
Yeah, indeed, inshallah.
I have, Said?
Yes.
I have it is written here, congratulations.
Yes,
you
yes.
have obtained the 3 badges, Microsoft Innovative Educator
certificate.
But it is in French. Office 365 Teacher Academy.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the first one.
First one. So I will do the same with the other codes, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Do it. It's okay. Because each training you will get codes like this as an encouragement to attend and to give you more points.
Okay, I completed Sway's tool training. Sway's tool elevates student voice across the curriculum.
Okay, yes. We'll speak later on about Sway because Sway is very important in applying or nominating yourself because we need a Sway file. So I'll give you a clear, or let's say, an idea about Sway and how to use it.
Okay.
I think my colleagues, have you finished the codes?
Braham, yes, I did.
Okay, good.
And the rest, please, to.
So do you mean you are asking whether you can proceed or?
Yeah, I'm waiting for my colleagues, whether they have finished the redeem codes or not.
Yes, I'm done with the 3 codes.
Okay.
Right.
Yes, me too, Hamdi.
Good.
Just you can write them down and you can do it later on, it's okay?
Yeah, thank you. Okay, proceed.
Okay, yes. Now, I'll give you an idea about how to apply for this, let's say, a certificate. Number 1, we did it, and we managed to join the Microsoft and complete your profile. I think all of you have already done this. And I think all of you, with the codes, you have earned a minimum of 1,000 points. I think all of you now, you have 1,000 points as a start. You can later on take the courses and you can learn a lot from these courses. So this is number 2. Number 3, this is the third thing you have to do. When you apply for this certificate, you have to join, number 1, and you get a badge of the community. Number 2, you have to earn a minimum of 1,000 points. Number 3, you have to create a 2-minute video or sway. In this sway or this video, you have to answer 4 questions. The questions are, say you can create a sway or a video, and you have to answer in this way. In this way, you have to answer 4 questions. Number 1, why do you consider yourself to be a Microsoft Innovative Educator expert? Why? Why you are a Microsoft expert? In this question, Mr. Kamal and the rest, please,
Yeah.
could you suggest any answer? Why you consider yourself a Microsoft Innovative Educator? Can you suggest, what can you write here in this or to answer this question?
So to improve students' performance in the class.
Okay, yes, good. What else?
I think, can I answer?
Yes,
go ahead.
Okay, yes, good.
Yeah, I think here we should answer by what are the tools or Microsoft tools that we are using with students, maybe inside the class or maybe
so you have
online.
you have to mention that you are already using Microsoft tools.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not. For example, new. I'm already using Microsoft tools inside my classroom. Okay, what else? Any other idea?
Because I want to try new ways of ICT in my classroom.
Okay, yes, I'm already trying new ways. Okay.
Hajar from Hamdan.
Yes,
I think
Hajar.
because we are heading to distance learning, we are going to make it a habit little by little with the new conditions that we are going through. So it's time to start learning these tools and prepare ourselves and our students to use them.
Yeah, sure. So in this question, you have to express yourself. You have to sell yourself. And you have to show off. I'm using Microsoft Teams. I'm using PowerPoint. I'm using Excel. I'm using all the Microsoft tools. And also, I have a long experience with Microsoft. You can say that, for example, I have an ICDR, for example, or I have certificate about Microsoft. You can express yourself here in this question. You can answer whatever you like to express and to show that you are a Microsoft or that you are already an innovative educator expert.
Actually, I do have an ICDL.
Good, yes.
I got it from the Gulf, yeah.
Yeah, good. Question number 2, I say you have to answer 4 questions. Question number 1, you say why you consider yourself. Number 2, how you have incorporated Microsoft technologies in innovative ways in your classroom. And this is, I think, the thing that Ms. Noha spoke about later, yes? The
Projects
Microsoft that you are using, yes?
Yes, it's about Microsoft technologies, and you have mentioned Flipgrid as an option for the critical thinking. I think Flipgrid is a Microsoft tool.
Yeah.
We can include it.
We can include all Microsoft tools and how you are using them. For example, PowerPoint, how you are using them innovatively. For example, in making videos, for example. Encourage your student to make videos using PowerPoint. Encourage them to record the desktop and make videos. Encourage them to, let's say, use Sway, for example, to make projects. And Sway, by the way, it's very, very important and very useful tool in projecting. Excel, you can use Excel in grading and follow your student marks. You are using Word to planning. You are using, let's say, for worksheets. You are using, let's say, what else? Many other tools.
Okay, so we can mention even the tools that you are using for planning our lessons only, not only not only the tools that we are using with the students.
Yeah, everything that you are using inside your classroom. You are
Right.
using Word in the planning. So planning is, you have to use the planning inside your classroom.
Movie Maker also? Movie Maker?
Yes, Movie Maker is something, let's say now there's no Movie Maker. Now we have Microsoft Recording. You can use recording in Microsoft Slides and you can make them as a video.
Okay.
In a new, let's say new PowerPoint.
You mean that it is outdated?
Yeah. I think it's no longer exists now, I think. Because Microsoft provides recording and video making inside PowerPoint.
Yes,
if you go inside, you can find recording. You can find also you can export your PowerPoint as a video.
Okay.
And here you have to give evidence. For example, I'm using PowerPoint. Where is your evidence? You have to provide evidence, and the evidence can be photos, can be images, can be let's say can be videos. Any evidence you like, you can provide in this way.
How many samples should the presenter provide or give, maybe? So in the answer, for example, here, just one answer is just enough, or more than one?
No, here you can speak about all Microsoft tools.
Okay.
Let's say, for example, Office 365. You have many tools, starting from Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Sway, OneNote, OneDrive, SharePoint, Class Notebook, Forms. Many tools that you can use inside your classroom, and you can provide an evidence of them.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe you can go back and see the tools. Let me just give you an idea about the tools that you can use. Let me go back to the OneDrive. Okay, let me OneDrive. Yeah, look at the tools. Are they clear?
Yeah, that's it. Outlook, Word.
Yeah, these are the tools. Even calendar, Excel, Flow, Forms, OneDrive, OneNote, and many Outlook. Outlook also is a tool that you can use in let's say with your colleagues in sending and receiving emails. PowerPoint, Skype. Skype in the classroom is very useful. You can travel virtual trips to wherever you want. Sway to do Word, and many other tools like Flipgrid, like Wakelet, like Nearpod, and many other tools.
Okay.
And in this way, you have to provide your evidence. You have to show that you are using Microsoft tools with your student.
Good.
And you have to provide as many evidence as you can. Okay?
Good.
So evidence, you mean pictures or video?
Pictures and videos. In Sway file, you can upload up to 200 or more 200 photos. And about, let's say, more than 30, I think, 30 videos.
Oh, that's
Later on, I will show you an example of a Sway in which you can see it clear how it is organized and how some people answered these 4 questions. Okay, question number 3. How have you impacted the learning and growth of your colleagues? You as an educator, how you impact? Yes. What do you think? What do you suggest here?
Yes.
You can,
many of them are trying to integrate technology into their classrooms.
No, I speak about you as an educator, as a teacher.
Yes, sir.
How have you impacted?
Hassan.
Yes, you can, for example, conduct teacher training sessions or seminars or webinars on how to use, for example, one of these tools. you share these your skills with your colleagues.
Sure, yes. That's a good evidence. So the workshops that you conducted, the webinars that you attended, the seminars, let's say the forums, anything you did to impact your learning and the learning of your colleagues.
Evidence is needed also here, or just an answer?
Yes, the evidence are needed.
Okay.
Because you say, for example, I conducted a workshop. So you have to provide the evidence, even pictures, video, short video for let's say 1 minute or 2 minutes, it's okay. So thus you have to show your evidence.
Good.
And here we can speak about face-to-face workshops. Mr. Kamal and the colleagues in, for example, in school, every Saturday I think you have workshops. So you can use this as an evidence. These webinars, these meetings, online meetings are evidence too.
Okay.
Even, for example, Ms. Noha, the tool that she introduced, for example, Padlet. For example, Padlet, or let's say Google Docs, or any tool, you can make, for example, conduct a workshop to your colleagues in your school, and you just take photos and take a short video about this, and you can use it as an evidence.
Yes, I think I have done some workshops about with some colleagues who are not ELT teachers, and they wanted to learn English.
We have evidence for that, Mrs. Damma.
Yes,
I think all of you should have evidence about this. All the colleagues, they should have evidence about this. Even the webinars, or say today's webinar, can be an evidence. The workshop that Mr. Kamal and the supervisors are conducting every Saturday, I think, or every week, these can be evidence.
Yes, what I mean, my question is it okay to share the screenshots, or we should include some videos?
Yeah, sure. It's okay. Screenshots, print screens, videos, photos, all are accepted.
Good.
Great.
And the fourth question is, if you become a Microsoft educator expert, how do you hope it will impact your role in the next 12 months? When you get the certificate and you become an expert, how will it impact your current role in the next 12 months? So, what will change in you?
Yeah, you'll probably share your knowledge with your colleagues, and that will impact also your way of teaching. So,
yes, good. So you have to share tools. You have to share your experience with your colleagues. Good. And even if you get this certificate, you are eligible to join a global Microsoft educators. So there is let's say a site, or a group of global educator where you can join and you can share experience with them and know them and visit them and maybe make virtual trips to their classrooms.
That's good.
Okay, maybe you can write here. What else can you write here? What do you suggest, please? Yes, sharing. Yes, you have to share. Yes, you share your experience. Maybe you have to train your colleagues. Because if you are a Microsoft expert, so you have to have an idea about all the tools.
Actually, start producing things.
And introducing them to your colleagues and help them to use them inside their classrooms. Also encourage you. Yes.
Produce things, I mean. Production.
Yeah. Okay, yes. Okay, so here you have to express yourself too. Question number 1 and question number 4, it's up to you. You have to sell yourself. You have to speak about yourself, talk about yourself. And you have to show that you are eligible, you are already a Microsoft educator and you merit and you deserve this certificate. Okay, so these are the 4 questions. I'll show you now an example or sample of this way, just to give you an idea. So these are sways made by my colleagues for this year, 2021. Let me show you my sway, just to give you an idea about the sway, because this file is needed, whether you make a sway or a video. And I advise you to make a sway, because a sway you can save it and you can use it the next year. Just you add something and you edit something and you add, and it is there with you. But video, it's difficult to edit for next year, because this certificate, as you know, is annual and you can apply for it every year. So this is my sway which I applied, and you can see sway is something like PowerPoint, it's presentation. So this is the title and this is the background title. Now question number 1, here you have to express yourself. You are using Microsoft tools. How long have you been using Microsoft tools? You can express yourself, write whatever you like, your certificate. For example, Mr. Kamal has an ICDL, so it's okay, you can write it. I have an IC3, it's okay. Here you introduce yourself and you say that you are already a Microsoft expert. This is question number 1. And here you can provide your, let's say, your certificates, your MA, your, let's say, BA. If you have any other certificate, you can include it. Question number 2, if you have anything, you have to show off and you express yourself and you have to sell yourself. This is my journey and my badges. This is a brief introduction about social media. You can include it too. Question number 2, how you have incorporated Microsoft technology in your classroom. As I said, you have to write, you have to express yourself, and you have to give evidence. This is the Office 365. Look at the number of evidence. You can include as many evidence as you like. This is Mr. Kamal. This is made by PowerPoint.
Okay.
And it's the
video.
Also, you can make a certificate for student using PowerPoint, using Word. It's okay now. They are there. You can make a certificate. You can for your student using Word itself.
Is it in a video format or what?
Yeah, it's in a video, MP4, yes.
Okay.
From here, Mr. Kamal, you can, I'll show you developer recording. Look at this, from recording, you can record slideshow, you can export to video.
Yeah, I see, okay.
Yeah, it's there, yes. Okay, this is the Excel, and you can give evidence by one. This is Microsoft Office Mix and PowerPoint that I'm using inside my classroom. Sway, and even Sway can be used in projecting. You can ask your student to use Sway to make projects, and it's very, very useful. Sorry. The forms. Look at the evidence. You can include as many evidence as you like. This is Microsoft Team with the student. And made it a video. The use of Microsoft Teams. And these are the, yes, my students are using Microsoft Teams and forms. And these are screenshots, photos, it's okay. These are, as Mr. Noah said, Flipgrid, Padlet, Wakelet, and many other tools that you can embed in Microsoft Teams. These are more evidence about OneNote, a notebook, or a class notebook. We can make, Mr. Kamal, another webinar about class notebook and OneNote, because this is very important and it's useful for students and for teachers.
Okay, good.
Okay, this Minecraft for education, and this used inside my classroom with my student, and this an evidence too, because Minecraft is, let's say, a part of Microsoft.
Okay.
This is a game, and it's educational game. It helps students, teach them how to build. Okay. Immersive Reader 2 is a tool by Microsoft, and this is also for, let's say, for primary, for preparatory. It's very important and very useful to teach your student reading. Okay, then these are other, let's say, other apps, tools, ClassDojo, Nearpod, Wakelet. Okay, this is question number 3 now. So in the question number 2, you have to provide evidence. The thing that you are using, that you are implementing in your classroom, and you can include as many evidence as you like.
Okay.
Question number 3, how the impact on your colleagues. The impact, it can be on meetings and webinars that you are hosting, you are conducting with your colleagues. Also, videos that you are making. Maybe some of us have YouTube channels and they are producing videos. Yes, they can provide this too. They can include this. If you are a YouTuber and you are making videos about tools, this is about remote learning. You're at Microsoft Teams. This is about class notebook. Also face-to-face workshops. The workshop that you delivered to your colleagues about any tool, or even not tool, even something outside Microsoft.
Okay.
This is Ask an MIE program. Webinars that I attended and the certificate that I got any day. And by the way, I invited you to attend. These are free webinars, and whenever you attend, you get a certificate. Mr. Kamal, I'll share with you the links for these webinars.
Okay.
Maybe your colleagues, you can attend and you can benefit, you can learn a lot from these webinars.
Sure.
Okay, question number 4 and the last one. your role in the next 12 months. Here you have to express yourself. What are you going to do when you get this? Train your colleagues. You have to improve your teaching skills using Microsoft tools. Okay, you have help me accomplish school project. Yes, and many. It can be as a teacher and as a trainer. Because when you get this certificate, you have the chance to be a trainer. Okay. A trainer, if you train 100, you get a trainer. When you, let's say, when you train 400 teachers or educator, you will be a master trainer. Okay, so this way. This is this way that you are going to prepare to make it ready before you apply for the certificate. Okay. Okay, so these are the 4 questions that you have to answer in a SWAY file or in a video file. But I advise you to use SWAY. It's better. Okay, good. Okay, to sum up, the first step is to join, and you get 1,000 points. Okay. Then you have to, let's say, prepare a SWAY. Inside this way you have to answer the 4 questions that you already covered. Then you have to apply. An application, Mr. Kamal and my friend, application finishes by 15 of July. Deadline is 15 July.
Of each year or just for the time being, you mean?
I think it's about this year.
For this year, it's only for this year, it's 15 July. But later on, because this is official, 15 July. And okay, they will, let's say, nominate, let's say, the teachers who got the certificate by August, I think.
Okay.
Then after August, maybe in September, October, it will reopen again for nomination. So if you don't have time to apply till 15 July, so it's okay. Prepare, be ready, and let's say collect your evidence and be ready to apply. Still you have time for 15 July. You can do a SWAY. It's easy to do it. If not, maybe you can apply. You can nominate yourself in September, and I think in September or October it will reopen again for nomination.
There are always chances to do that.
Yeah, sure. But be ready and prepare your SWAY, collect your evidence, and be ready to apply.
Okay.
So these are the benefits when you get the certificate. Just to give them an idea about the benefits. As I said, you have to be part of a global Microsoft educator community. You can go through Skype classroom trips. You can visit them. You can share with them ideas and experiences. You can also test a new product. They will give you, they will ask for your feedback. Microsoft team will send you emails and they will ask you for your feedback about the teams, about the tools. Also, you can take part in E2, and this is an annual event which takes place in, last year it was in Paris. Okay. And this year I think it's in Singapore, I think. You have the chance to take part in this. Good. Okay. Now for this way, as I said, I think I mentioned all the 4 questions. You have to answer them and you have to feel free. You have to include whatever you like, whatever you see is appropriate. I have here a list of evidence that you can use. Maybe I'll share it with you later on. a list of evidence, including Microsoft tools, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Sway, Forms, Teams, and many other evidence that you can prepare and provide.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, if you have time, we can move to Sway. I'll give you just an idea about Sway, if you have time.
How much time do you need, Saeed? How much time do you need?
It depends on you. It may take 5 minutes or you can.
Now, I don't know about the other colleagues.
Can arrange another meeting.
Because we exceeded a little bit planned time, so I don't know. It's up to my colleagues, to the participants. So can we go for other 5 or 10 minutes? What do you think?
For me, it's okay.
Okay.
You have.
Maybe Mr. Kamal, we can arrange another meeting or another webinar.
Yes, sure.
Yes, to explain,
this is
to speak
just,
and note.
Yeah, okay, Go ahead, yes, thank you.
Okay, yes. Now,
so
this way...
you can finish in 5-10 minutes, I don't know.
Okay, yes, why not, yes. This way, this is this way that you are asked to provide. This is the site, and Sway is the website. Sway, www, if you can log in with me.
Yeah, we type it now, yes.
Sway.office.com. Sway.office.com. You can sign in.
So it's sway.office.com.
Sway.office.com.
No, it's not working there.
The chat, is it working, Mr. Kamal, the chatting?
Let me check. The chat. No, it's not.
It's not.
No, it's not, because we are not included in the teams.
We are not team members, yes. So did Sway work for you? Yeah.
Yes, Sway, my colleagues. Sway.office.com.
I don't
know. We go to Sway.
It's problem of the server. I don't know whether it is the same thing there or not.
Mr. Kamal, you didn't manage.
I'm in.
Hassan, did you try it?
I'm in. Yes, I'm in.
Okay. Hassan is in.
I've reached the first page. Should we create an account?
Yes.
Wait.
You can log in. You can sign in. Okay. Mr. Kamal,
yeah, it's okay. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so it's easy as PowerPoint, and I think it's more easier than PowerPoint.
Okay.
You can create from here. You can follow me, please. You can create a new Sway from here, or you can start from a document, and the document can be a PDF, can be a PowerPoint. If you have already a ready-made PowerPoint, or if you have a PDF, you can start from them, or you can create a new one. Let's create a new one. So you start by the title. Let's say MIE, for example, the title, MIE expert. This is my title. Okay, you can emphasize it, you can make it bold. Okay, then you can bring a background. From here you can click on background and you insert. If you look at this option here, you have internet search. You can write, for example, MIE expert, and you enter. You'll get suggestions from the internet. So all images, videos about the topic you are MIE expert. You can use them. You can drag and drop them. Let's say image. I can take this one, for example. Let's say take this. I drag and drop it here, and it is there. Okay?
Okay.
So this is your title and the background. Let's see how it looks. It looks like this when you play. Let's go back and edit. Okay, then this plus, green plus, you can click it and you see whether you can add the text, only a text. You can add a heading. You can insert media or stack, and stack here means a group of media. It can be a group of videos or a group of images. Or you can upload from your computer. From your own device, you can upload an image or a video or whatever you like. Let's say here, my expert, I'm going to express myself. So I'm going to write about myself, for example. Let me choose heading. For example, I'll introduce myself. I'll write another one. Who am I? Yes. And here you can introduce yourself. Maybe you can insert your own photograph. Your photograph, you can bring it from, click on the drag, then you can bring it from your device. You can see here suggested, click, and down my device. You can bring your photo, your personal photo. Let's say this one, for example. Okay, this photo I don't want the photo or the photo to appear. I want to focus on parts of the photo. Let's say I want all the photo. So it will appear, all the photo will appear. Now I want, for example, this part of the photo to appear, so I can use it like this. These are the focus points of the photo. Even here, you can do the same. Focus points. I don't want all the photo to appear. I want a part of it. So let's say Microsoft and MIE. It will appear like this for you. Okay. Now we have the title and we have first section. Who am I? Now I need a text. I need to write about myself. Okay?
Yes.
You can write express yourself. I'm an ELT teacher, ESL language teacher. You can write whatever you like about yourself. Okay, and you can use bullets. You can use numbers. Also, you can use links. For example, links of your certificate. Maybe in OneDrive, you have your certificate in OneDrive. You can insert a link. Even here, your Facebook profile, you can use it. You can bring it from here, links. So you can emphasize. Also, you can make it big. Look at this. Now, let me show this. Okay, so this is the display. I can change the display from here. Look at this. The display will change from up to down. So this is the title, the background, my photo, whom am I, and who. Here you have to write about yourself. I can make it big, like this. I need to appear like this, bigger. Okay. And it is now, it is bold and it is big. And so on. Here, after I introduce myself, I want to add my certificates, my BA, my MA, my certificate. Here you can add image by image. For example, let me add an image. And the images, Mr. Kamal, can be added from online. If you have something online, from Google or from OneDrive, from YouTube, if you need a video, or from your device. Let's say I have my certificate here, for example, let's say this, my certificate. Okay. The same thing, you can make it big, the size, whether small or medium or big. Okay. You can write a comment about this. For example, this is my BA, for example. You can write a comment about this. Okay, you can add one more if you have many certificates. So it's okay, you can add one more image. The same thing, you can go to your device and bring your let's say any certificate. Okay.
So any certificate related to technology or any certificate related to Microsoft?
So here you are talking about yourself. You are introducing yourself. So your personal certificate, your BA, your MA, your ICDL, and any other certificate that you got.
Okay, thank you.
Because later on we'll speak about Microsoft inside your classroom. Let's say, for example, this, my BA, for example. Okay, just wait. Okay, so this is my certificates. Here too you can add any number of certificates you like. You can include your personal certificate and you can change the layout. Okay, here I have two photos or two images. I want to make them a group or stack like this. You click on it and you tick this box, empty box here, the same thing here, and you make a group. Look at the types of groups. Any number of pictures you have, for example, 5, 6, 10, 20 pictures, you can make them as a group. Look at the layout of groups. Let's say, for example, this. Let's see how they look. Okay. Again, this is my title, me, and this how my pictures, my images look like. You can change the layout as you have many layouts. You can change. Okay, maybe I want to change the group type. Why not? I can choose this, for example. Okay, let me see. Okay. Yes, so this is how they look. Okay. Let's go back to editing. So these are the stacks, or is how you can make them as a group, how you change the layout. Now I want to add another heading, which is question number 1. Question number 1, why do you consider yourself, okay, and so on. This is question number 1. Okay, make it bold, make it as you like. Here you can bring any photo you like related to the topic. Microsoft Educator, for example, let's say Educator. Okay, am I expert? You can search online and you can choose any. Let's say this one, for example, and it should be related to the topic. Okay, so this is question number 2. The same thing, you have to express yourself here, especially in question number 1. You have to say why you are a Microsoft Educator expert, because this and this and this, and you write as many points as you want. Okay. Here in this part, you can include your let's say your Microsoft certificates. The certificate that you got from Microsoft, you can include them here. Okay. Now, Mr. Kamal, I think you have a certificate, and all of you have certificates. If you go to your profile, you can find certificates, you can find badges. You can include them here. You can insert them here. Okay, let's go to the My Device, and let's go to certificates. Certificates. For example, let's say this. For example, these certificates. You can insert many at once. Just you select and you insert. I can provide more certificates. Let's say this, badges. Any certificate you got from Microsoft. Let me omit this. Okay. And this too. Kahoot. Okay. Here I have these certificates. Let's see how they look like. Okay. Now, question number 1. Why do you consider yourself? These are my certificates. I look at the layout. You can change the layout, as we said. You can make them as a group, and you choose your layout. Okay. So imagine these are images, are these certificates, because they are not. Okay. 17. Yes, so this is question number 2. As I said, your topic, the question number 1, you can write, for example, question number 1 here. Then you express yourself, write about yourself. Then give your evidence that you are a Microsoft Educator expert, that you are using Microsoft, that you are already a member in Microsoft community, and that you are already taking Microsoft, let's say, courses. And these are the evidence. Okay. And so on. This is the principle and sway, Mr. Kamal and my colleagues. So this is the principle.
Yeah, I see. That's really clear. That's fine. That's good.
Yeah. You can change. Yes. You can change from here. You can change the setting of this way. Yes.
Good.
When you finish your sway, you can choose a design from here. You can choose a design. Let's see the first design. This is the old design. This is the old design. Let's see it.
Yeah.
This is the old one. I will change it. Go back to edit, then design, and on the right we have styles. From here you can choose the layout, vertical, then you can choose the style you want. You can change the style you want. Let's say, for example, let's choose this, and let's see how it looks like. Yes, this is the layout.
That's nice.
You can change the layout as you like. There are many layouts. Okay.
Nice.
And so on. You can go on and answer the 4 questions like this, and each question you should include your evidence. Okay. Then when you share, you can share this. From share, you can share it for people to view, just view, or edit if you want them to edit. And this is especially in projecting. When you project with your students, you give them the permission to edit because they want to add things, maybe omit, you add, but if you want just to view, just click on view and you send them copy the link and you send them whether on email, whether on WhatsApp or any other social media. Okay? So we have here storyline and you have design. Storyline is the editing, the place where you edit. You can add. Here let's add, for example, let's add video from here. Media, let's say video. And video from YouTube, for example. Let's choose this. Yeah, this is good, yes. Okay, you can drag and drop it here. And let's see. And this is, Mr. Kamal, a good example of video, because now we are trying to do a Microsoft Sway. This one is a video. I will show it to you. We'll watch it together and see.
Without sound?
Yes.
We can't hear you. See, Saeed, there is no sound. I can't hear anything, right?
No sound.
Yeah.
So just it's music. You see the video.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
It's music, just music. And this is an example of nomination file. It's a video, and it's 2 minutes video made by Huda Mizghani, I think, from Sfax. I think it's in 2019, I think.
Yes.
I like the authentic Padlet. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Evidence, that's fine.
That's question number 4.
Yeah. Sharing, training, using. Okay.
Motivate, educator.
Yeah, it doesn't replace the file, the presentation, or we can do only a presentation, or we can do only a video, or we can do both.
No, you can do whether a sway or a video.
A video, one of them.
And this is an example of video. It's a 2-minute video and it's clear, I think. But I prefer Sway. Why I prefer Sway? Because Sway you can edit it, you can use it the next year. You can just edit and add new evidence and it's okay. But video you have to start from the beginning.
Yeah, we can add different materials and links to.
But this way is there with you. You can edit, you can add just evidence. Okay? So this is how we can add videos. Just write any topic you like and you search online here in this way itself. And you can drag and drop it. Okay? What else? For example, URL, when you need to add an URL, media, URL, for example, text, let's say text, and you want to add, for example, Facebook. This is, let's say, this is Facebook page, your own Facebook page, for example. Okay? Just you select and you go to URL, link. Okay, this is my Facebook page, and you bring your link. Let's say this is my link, for example, and just you paste the link, and it changes into, look at this hyperlink.
Yeah.
When you click, takes you to your page, and this you can do it. You can do it here when you speak about yourself. You can include your Facebook page, your Twitter page, your LinkedIn page, your social media personal pages. You can include them here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Said.
If you have any questions, something not clear, but you have to try it. It's easy. You can do it yourself. You can try it.
Okay, dear colleagues, do you have any questions to Said before wrapping up?
I'd like to thank him for this clear information, and really it's an important thing to an important presentation. It's right to the topic, right to the point. Yeah, very good. Thank you, Mr. Said. Thank you, Mr. Kamal. Yeah, that's very important. I apply.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to. Yes, you have to.
I'm sure that there will be more cooperative work with Said. He is our expert now, so
yes.
I think we can plan further sessions with him.
Yes.
Right? Now you see that the problem is that people, though you invite them, you insist, etc. But
maybe next time I'll share it on English teachers groups, Facebook groups, because I haven't shared. I told you I was.
Yeah, because I frankly I wanted to work on a small scale. Just here with but maybe in the future, due to this problem, because such an interesting session like this, I'm really sorry for those who missed it.
Yes.
Now I wish that more colleagues would apply to it. But,
yeah, I have to comment maybe.
It's easy, Mr. Kamal, to get the certificates. It's easy. Just you provide your evidence, and I think all of you are using technology inside your classrooms. All of you, I think, using Padlet, using Excel, PowerPoint, and it's something daily.
Most educators are using them.
Yeah. Not really all of them, but most of them at least. And in some areas, it depends. Huh?
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, any more comments? Any more reactions?
Thank you, Kamal. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you for you as well.
I learned a lot from it. Thank you, Said.
Now, I hope to see some work, Mrs. Thuraya, in the future, and to see your certificate as an MIE expert.
Inshallah, I will do my best.
Okay.
And I'm really
Said, before concluding, What's your advice to our colleagues as a first step? What should be taken as a first step? Now, there is the intention to get this certificate. Now,
sure, yes.
because most of us are really new, so what should be done next?
The next thing you have to do, you have to collect your evidence, because this is very important. Your evidence.
Yeah, the evidence. Now, how to collect the evidence? For example, the best step to go for now is to participate in MOOCs, or what you said, some training sessions, or
yes,
to get those certificates.
Yeah, this is a part of the job. This is a part of the job, but the part is your classroom. Using.
Yeah, maybe we need to wait a little bit in September for those who don't have real evidence now. This is what I mean.
Even Mr. Kamal, for example, using Microsoft Teams, it's easy. Maybe you can use it with your within your community as a colleagues. You can use them. You can use Microsoft Teams with your colleagues. You can make or create a team, and you can share ideas. You can share files. You can share preparation lessons. You can share PowerPoint. This is one evidence. Using Microsoft Teams.
It's not necessarily face to face. This is what you mean.
No, not needed. Even if you make a webinar, maybe it's an online meeting with your colleagues, it's okay.
Good. Any more comments?
Yes, Kamal.
Mr. Hassan, yes.
Yes, I want to thank Mr. Saeed for this wonderful presentation. I tried most of the steps you've explained. It's quite easy, and I promise I will keep going, and I'll go for the certificate, and I will share it with you soon, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hassan, I'm really even privately, Hassan, we can meet and we can discuss more.
Inshallah, with pleasure. Thank you very much, Mr. Saeed.
Welcome, Mr. Hassan.
Okay, so on behalf of all the participants, I would like to thank you again, Mr. Shabi and Mrs. Damak, for accepting willingly to give us these two short talks. Let's say short, but I think now I see that on my computer it's more than 2 hours and a half.
Yeah.
Very insightful. We enjoyed it. So thank you for the other participants, all of them, naming Hajar, Hamdi Lamin, Hassan, Kamil Yadifallah, Marwa, Nuha, and Thuraya. So thank you very much for attending our first webinar. And I hope that more sessions will be conducted in the future, and you will be updated about that. And I hope that you like this.
Of course, we liked it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Saeed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so Si Saeed, hope to connect with you another time. So thank you very much. Shall we disconnect now? So do you have any final
Anytime, yes.
Yes.
Anytime I'm ready for to speak about the other tools. We have many tools, Mr. Kamal.
Okay, I'll arrange for another session on Note or
OneNote, yes.
What
OneNote.
you suggested? OneNote.
OneNote, yes, and Forms.
Maybe, or another software. So we'll be talking about that.
Kamal, even Microsoft Teams, Mr. Kamal, even Microsoft Teams, you can use it inside your classroom. You can make a team. Yes, you can use it as a team, and you can assign homework and assign quizzes. You can follow up your student, and it's very useful.
Thank you very much. So it's high time for lunch now. It's high time we went for lunch. So شاي طيب الناس كل.
الله يبارك فيك.
Sorry for keeping you all this time. Another kind of lockdown.
Thank you, Kamal. Thank you very much. That was our first webinar. We are looking forward for the second one and the third and the fourth. Thank you very much.
Inshallah, I hope so. Thank you very much, Hassan. Okay, bye-bye, everyone. Okay,
and goodbye.
Thank you very much. Bye. See you.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.